All right, y'all, welcome to Somnium Fitness Handstand Walk and Push-Up course. This is going to be where we lay the groundwork and the framework for you to get either your first handstand push-up and handstand walk or increase your reps in your unbroken set. So we're super excited. As you can see, we have the entire team here. So I'm super excited about that to share with you what we've created, and we'll get started. So first things first, what we're going to do, obviously, we've taken the handstand push-ups, and we're doing this because we polled everyone who wanted to get, or what we wanted to learn the most. And so handstand push-ups and handstand walks won. And so we took the time to actually create this live for you to dive deep and actually spend a little more time focused solely on that, okay? I know with the classes, things get kind of busy, and it's not as easy to spend a specific attention on one singular thing. So this is our attempt to give you a deep dive into the world of handstand walks, handstand push-ups, and everything that goes with it. So we've created a framework. I put it in the members area. What we're going to do is, if you aren't live with us right now, we actually will go ahead and put this video up and then send you the program as well. It's kind of a workbook. It's pretty awesome, and you can use that to have with you in combination with this video. So the video will be pretty much the explanation of the program, and that'll be the physical program that you can have, keep on your phone, print it out, whatever you want to do. Do it before class, after class, whatever. We're here to help with it, okay? We're all going to be very versed in this program, so we can help you whatever obstacle you run into. And so let's go ahead and get started into the handstand walk. I mean, the handstand push-up. Yes. So the handstand push-up is going to come first, y'all, because the handstand walk will actually build on it, and we highly recommend that you do not do the handstand walk until you can get one handstand push-up. The reason being is because you're going to learn a lot of skills and earn a lot of confidence during that journey of the handstand push-up that will carry over very nicely into the handstand walk. It will not work the other way around, okay? You'll be hopping up, flopping around, dropping down, breaking elbows. Like, you don't want to do that if you are not comfortable upside down and take these steps and break through these obstacles that we've listed for you in the program, okay? So what we're going to do is let's start with the handstand push-up. Who's helping me? Oh man, break. All right, y'all. So for the handstand push-up, the same way we've broken this down is going to be how we do the handstand walks and most movements, okay? So I do want you to understand and watch how we break these things down into separate obstacles, okay? That's how we're going to refer to these, as obstacles. Each movement is going to have its own list of obstacles that are keeping you from progressing in that movement, okay? In particular, with the handstand push-up, there's going to be three. The first one is going to be the kick-up, okay? I'm going to go through all three, then Booner's going to show you what we got going on. The first one will be the kick-up. Obviously, if we can get the kick-up, the next obstacle we're going to run to is the descent. So it's going to be proper hand positioning and knowing how to stay active in the bottom. The third and final part of the handstand push-up that will raise an obstacle for you is the handstand push-up. So actually having the physical strength to push up out of the handstand push-up, okay? So first what we're going to do is address the descent. The kick-up, I'm sorry. So Boone is going to come on, Coach Boone is going to come up, address the wall, and then just kick up, okay? So, yes, so that is what the kick-up looks like. So he's going to come back down. And the way we work through this, okay, if this is our first obstacle, what we're going to do is with a partner or with your coach here, we're actually going to have a partner help and assist you get up on the wall. So what Boone is going to do is to make sure his hands are proper, and then he's going to kick up one leg and have Tyler help with the rest of the way until he is on the wall, okay? So that's the kick up. He's going to stay stable. He's going to flex his abs, squeeze his butt, and then press into his hands as hard as he possibly can, okay? This is going to be our active position, and that's what we're going to refer to throughout this entire course, okay? This is the active position. Abs are tight, butt is flexed, and he's pressing through his hands. Good job. Let's come down. Okay, so to see that one more time, Ian's going to set his hands. So Ian's about 18 inches. He's a bigger guy. So anywhere between 12 and 18 inches from the wall. Hands are slightly on the outside of the shoulders. And then he's going to kick up with one foot. Tyler is then going to help him, his partner, to get onto the wall. You're going to hold this for 2 or 3 seconds. And again, activate everything. Flex the abs, squeeze the cheeks, and then press through the hands. Okay, hold that for 2 or 3 seconds. He's going to drop back down. That's going to be pretty much the main part of the kick up. Okay, it's not rocket science there. It's more of getting comfortable with being inverted. Okay, so just having someone there to help you, knowing that you're not going to flip over and snap your stuff up is going to be the main thing there. Okay, so the next portion is going to be, the next obstacle is going to be the descent. Okay, this is very important to make sure that your hands are set properly before you try this. Okay, so again, 12 to 18 inches. Again, Ian's a little bit bigger of a guy, so as you get taller, arms get longer, you want to move out a little farther. So Ian's going to be about 18 inches from the wall. His hands are going to be shoulder width, just wider than shoulder width. He's going to come up same way, so he's going to kick up. Partner helps if need be. He's going to flex the abs, squeeze the cheeks, press through the hands, and then he's going to slowly bring his head down. Okay? And what you want to do is essentially split the distance between your hands and the wall. That's the best place to shoot for when you're coming down on the descent. The most important part here is that the weight is in his hands. He has no weight in his neck, okay? I know that it looks like now you have a third part of a tripod, but it's not the case. That's only to keep you from tipping over. This is where the weight is at, okay? So come on down. Perfect. So what we do there in order to progress through this and to overcome this obstacle is we set up ab mats, okay? Stack these as high as you want, as high as you need to where you're comfortable coming down. It needs to be slow and controlled. Okay, so Coach Boone's going to come back up. He's going to kick up. Perfect. And then he's going to come down nice, slow and controlled. See how slow and controlled he's coming down? That's perfect. He's going to tap his head, all the weights in the hands. He's going to hold 2, 3, and then come down. Okay? So the way we progress through the descent is that you are going to slowly remove the distance and height on the ab mats or the yoga mats stacked up. Okay? And each time he's going to come down, he's going to hold for 1 to 2 seconds active in the bottom. Okay, all the weight's in the hands and he's controlled in the bottom. So one more time for me, we'll do a kick up. Perfect. He's going to come down, slow and controlled. This is perfect. He's going to tap right there. All right, he's holding 1, 2, all the weight's in the hands, and he comes back down. That's excellent. The final part is that this is going to be a side note because we're not going to demonstrate the kip. But we will show, we will demo it, but we won't dive deep into the kip just yet, okay? So Ian's going to come up. Do you want to? Yeah. Ian's going to kick up. And this is why it's so important, because now he comes down, and this is why it's important to have your weight in the hands. Because when you do go to do a kip, which Ian's going to demonstrate here, all that weight, okay, now you can come down. If you are not active in your hands, will go through your neck, and that is where you get injured, okay? So when you get into this descent position, practice, the most important part is to have the weight in the hands, because when we do progress into the kipping, all that weight is not going to be driven through your neck right into your spine, okay? You want it to come through the hands and then to kick up. So Ian, if you wouldn't mind doing one more for me. He's going to kick up, he's going to descend down. Good, and notice his back's on the wall, and then he kicks up. Okay, this is going to be mostly in the hips. Can you do one more for me so they can see? He comes down, all the weight's in the hands, his butt's on the wall, and then he kicks straight up. Okay, and then come on down. So that's going to be the kip. What I want to practice now, and I don't want to distract you with that, because that is going to be something that if we develop the strength necessary to get a strict handstand push-up, which ballpark, it ranges for everyone, but 75 to 80% on your strict press for body weight, okay? So whatever your body weight is, you should be able to strict press 75 to 80% of that, and that should give you enough strength to do a strict handstand push-up, okay? With that, the kipping handstand push-up will actually allow you to kind of shortcut that and allow you to do a handstand push-up before you have that strength necessary. But we don't take shortcuts, so I want to develop that strength before we start to do the kipping, okay? So the final piece is going to be the actual handstand push-up. So we'll keep that there. So what we're going to do, Ian's going to come down, kick up. He's going to do the descent. And then all he's going to do is just press through the hands and finish with his head through the shoulders. Okay, can you do one more for me? And press through the head. Perfect. And he's going to come down. Okay? So most of the technique work and all the foundation is set as long as you have the hands proper, the descent is correct, and you have the weight in the hands. And from there, it is a strength exercise. And so what we've done are those are the 3 obstacles: the kick up, the descent, and the handstand push-up. The first 2 are technique skills. So we have listed the exact technique protocol to follow in order to get the proper kick up and to get the proper descent. Once you have mastered those, you can move on to the strength portion, okay? If the final obstacle in getting your handstand push-up is actually having the strength to do so, we have a 4-week program that we have designed specifically to get a handstand push-up. It's developing the strength overhead, the stability, all of the things that you need to get your first handstand push-up. Okay, and I know that sounds super simplified, but that really is the only thing keeping us once we get the technique work done, okay? So if you practice these drills while you do the strength, if you don't have your first one yet, just complete the program and that one will come with time, okay? The other thing that we want to address there is that, what other thing we want to address there? Oh, any questions on the program? Obviously, this is for handstand push-ups, so we're not going to go into the power cleans and all the things that we need for that strength program. Obviously, just set up a goal-setting session, and we can walk through that program with you one-on-one to make sure you're versed in the technique and the proper form for that, okay? Because obviously that's very important, but we're going to focus solely on the handstand push-up. So, to sum that up, the kick-up, the descent are technique movements. The push-up is actually a strength requirement, and we have the program for the strength requirement to build that. Next, we're going to move into the handstand walk, okay? This is very important. So, B-Rod, Tyler, who's got here? Team. Huh? All right, y'all. So, for the handstand walk, there's a reason this is second in line and not first. Again, because the confidence and the earned strength and stability, all the things that you're going to get from developing the handstand push-up will carry over into the handstand walk. So I do not recommend, unless you have one strict handstand push-up, attempting to get a handstand walk because the strength requirements and the stability are not there, okay? And it will end up leading to a much higher risk. So what we're going to do, there's 2 obstacles in the handstand walk. Obviously the kick up, getting overhead. It's a little more complex than the wall because we obviously want to get to a point where we're freestanding and don't have a wall there to always support us. The second obstacle is going to be the actual walk. And so to break those 2 things down, I'm going to get the master to show us what a handstand walk looks like. I'm going to step off to make sure that they have enough room here to demo. I would guess so Brian about 5 feet right there, and then Tyler, if you go towards our dealer a little bit. Actually, matter of fact, here, who's kicking up?
Brian.
All right, so Coach Brian is going to do a handstand walk. Yes, so hop on up. Good. So notice he's straight, the core is tight, the buns are squeezed, and he's walking nice and steady through the handstand walk, okay? So this is, okay, a little extra credit. Come back. Perfect. So notice a straight line all the way up, and all that weight's pressing to the hand. So it's extremely similar to the handstand push-up. And we need to stay active. It's the same thing. You want to flex your abs, squeeze your cheeks, and then press through your hands the entire time. You develop that active position, the active shoulders on the wall doing the handstand push-up. And that carries over. So throughout this whole handstand walk, course right here, I want you to know that those are always the non-negotiables. That's always happening while we're doing this, okay? You are always flexed and active when you're upside down. Okay, so the first thing for the kick-up, we've gotten practice on the handstand push-up, but now we're going to partner up. I do not recommend doing this solo. We do have a protocol for doing that, and we will touch on it, but this goes much better with a partner, and obviously it's a lot more fun. So what Tyler is going to do is he's going to come down onto his hands, and they're going to be in the same position as they are on the wall, so slightly on the outside of his shoulders, okay? Tyler, if you wouldn't mind kicking up. Brian's going to kick up. Notice there's about 5 feet of distance here. Brian's going to kick up, and Tyler is then going to catch his feet as he comes over. That's why being 5 feet is going to be good. If you're closer, when he kicks up, Tyler's going to catch a heel in his face. That's no good. If Tyler's too far away, he won't save him when he flips over onto his back, okay? So 5 feet is about good. So Brian, if you wouldn't mind kicking up. Perfect. And then he catches, and that's it. And so from here, you're going to stabilize. Take 2 or 3 seconds to now flex the abs, squeeze the cheeks, press through the hands as hard as you can, and then come back down, okay? So it's simulating exactly what we did on the wall, but we're in a little bit different setting here, okay? So if you would, one more time, Brian. He's going to kick up, Hands are just on the outside of the shoulders, but now he stabilizes. So now that Tyler's got him, he's flexing the abs, squeezing the cheeks, pressing through his hands as hard as he possibly can. Okay, and then we're going to rest. So this is a drill that it's just kind of technique, getting comfortable upside down. So the way we would do that for that protocol to master this is to just do this for 20 minutes. Brian would kick up 2 times, Tyler would catch him, stabilize for 2 or 3 seconds, kick down, and then y'all alternate. Just do this 10 times each, and you should get pretty comfortable being upside down. The way you progress through this now into the walk is going to be slightly different. So the kick up is going to be the exact same. But what's going to happen now is when Brian is up and stabilized, Tyler's going to step a foot back, allowing for Brian's weight and center of gravity to shift forward, and that's going to create the forward momentum needed to move forward. So Tyler's going to move back a foot, Brian's going to tip, and then he's going to do 1, 2 steps, and then drop back down, okay? So give me 2 steps on this, please. So Brian's going to kick up, he's going to stabilize, Tyler's going to take a step back. Brian is going to do, 1, 2, a little bit, restabilize, and then kick back down, okay? So what we're doing here is just feeling what it feels like for that weight to shift forward, because on a handstand walk, you follow the weight, okay? It's not so much like when you run and you kick off. It's going to be a slight tip forward, and then you're just going to fall into that momentum, okay? So Brian's going to demonstrate that one more time. He's going to kick up. Good. Tyler's going to take a step back and leave a little room for him to now walk forward. Good. And then he just stabilizes and then comes back down. Okay? So each one of those steps, y'all, the most important thing is to keep the weight in the hands. Think about staying as active as possible, because what would happen, he made that look easy. If you go and you take a step and you let your elbow buckle, then you're going to come down on your face, okay? Again, this is why, another reason the handstand push-up is the prerequisite to this, because you will develop the strength to maintain a locked out arm or stability in the shoulders, okay? If you jump up too early, you don't have a handstand push-up, there's a much higher risk that you're going to buckle the elbow and fall on your face. It's not fun, okay? So the other progression now is simply adding distance to that. So maybe we'll step forward this way. We'll kick back up. And then Tyler's going to let him walk maybe 4 or 5 feet. As long as so it's nice and slow. You go at the speed that the walker is comfortable, okay? He stabilizes and drops back down, okay? And then, can we go the other way? Yeah, you? Yeah. I go, you go. And that's pretty much what you'll do, y'all. And then Brian's going to walk back and then let Tyler go, okay? So that's really how you would develop this. You'll have somebody there holding you, supporting you so that you don't tip too far forward. But the big things are press through the elbows and just take small steps, okay? 6 to 8 inches is going to be where you want to sit. As you get more comfortable, they can get a bigger stride, but start with just small 6 to 8 inch steps, okay? For the solo option, so with that one, so finally, in order to get, obviously, the handstand walk, what Tyler would do is instead of standing in front, he's going to stand to the side, okay? So what Brian's going to do is he's going to kick up. Tyler's going to catch him with his arm first, okay? So let's go ahead and kick up. Now he's stable here, okay? And so what he's going to do is just slowly let his hands walk out in front to where they're not on him. It's freestanding, and Brian can go and it's freestanding, okay? But Tyler is there at all times to make sure that if he does slip, he can catch him, okay? That's a confidence booster and to make sure that we don't fall forward. But the idea is to get to be as freestanding as possible to where Tyler pretty much doesn't touch him at all through that handstand walk. Okay, so let's try that one time where Brian, you kick up, do a handstand walk, and Tyler, you're just floating to support it. And this is what that would look like. Just do a handstand walk. Tyler's just there to kind of, yeah. So see, notice Tyler's not touching at all, but he's there if it needs to be. Okay, so that's pretty much how, with a partner, this can really fast track getting a handstand walk. Doing it on the wall solo is a little trickier, and it's not as fluid. Okay, it can't adapt as well to you. But to do that, let's go ahead and we'll scoot on over to the wall, and I'll show you how to do it with just you. So we're going to move that. Well, I'm not, but you will. All right, so to do it solo, y'all, what you're going to do, it's the same exact thing as the kick up. So first, I want to make sure, Brian, let's go ahead and set up just for like a regular handstand push-up. I want you to do 1 or 2 reps just like a normal handstand push-up, kick onto the wall. Okay, so he's going to be 12 to 18 inches from the wall, hands slightly on the outside of the shoulders, and he's going to kick up. Good. This is just to get your bearings, y'all. I want you to do this 2 or 3 times. Flex the abs, squeeze the cheeks, press through the hands, and then kick back down. The reason you need to set your bearings is because from there, so see, he's 1 foot, that's where he comes up and comes down. So one more time, mark where your feet are. So he's going to kick up. Perfect. And then he's going to hold, stabilize, 1, 2, and then come back down. Notice where his feet sit. That is going to be your starting point, because now he's going to take about a foot step backwards. And now this time, he's going to kick up, but this is why the solo is not as ideal, because he's going to kick up and now have to, with himself, walk to the wall to the safe spot again. So that'll be the same distance that he took back a step, that he's going to now have to handstand walk into the wall. Does that make sense what I'm saying, Brian? So do you mind demoing what I mean there? So he's going to kick up, and now he's going to have to walk into the wall back to safety. Okay? So while this is doable and it can be done, it is not ideal because it's not as fluid. And if something happens here in that foot or two that you don't have a spotter for, then it's just not as safe. So I highly recommend practicing the handstand walk with a partner. But this is the variation if you're going to do it alone, to actually get a step and be able to progress steadily longer and longer distances by yourself. Okay? Am I missing anything there, y'all? Do we have any comments? Nothing. Cool. So what we're going to do, y'all, I'm just going to double check, triple check what we've got on here to make sure. Again, if you haven't downloaded this yet, we will be sending this to you for the handstand walk and the handstand push-up Somnium Fitness protocol. So you can print that out, save it on your phone, whatever you want to do with it. And if you have any questions, please schedule a goal setting session. Yeah, just message us on text us. What's the number? The 300 757 300 1786. Yeah, 300 1786. Text that, or just message us, or just talk to the coaches when you're here, and we'll get you taken care of as far as the goal setting session, or answer any specific questions on that. Anyway, that's it, y'all. So I hope that helped, and we'll talk soon. Later.